Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. A new rule went into effect August 10th, 2024, and it impacts veterans. Not just disabled veterans, but all veterans that utilize this specific benefit. I wanted to jump into it. I did a video on this in the past. The VA did an announcement on it in a, I don't know if you want to call it a press release, and they did that back in June of 2024. But here we are. There hasn't been much mention of it until now. So August 10th, so that was whatever, 10, 12 days ago, this went into effect. Before we jump into it, I wanted to throw on a quick thank you very much to the super thanks in the comments. I really appreciate it. We got 2 of them in. One from Chris Mack. Thank you so much, Chris. And Kenneth Smith. Kenneth Smith, thank you so much. I appreciate you both for supporting the channel. It really does help. Obviously not required. That's, it's if you so desire. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. All right, so let's jump into this. A new rule is in effect. Now, again, this is a national thing. However, the news release or press release from the VA came out in June. There really hasn't been that much since then about it from the VA. But there is a local article, and when I say local, I just mean a more of a geographically focused article. But think about it from the national perspective. This is in your backyard too, because it is a national thing. All right, so let's jump into it. With that, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. If you want to become a member and support the channel in that way, please consider that. You can go to the homepage. You'll see the tabs there that say videos and shorts and lives and so on, and then you'll get into the membership area. Thank you so much to all you members. I really appreciate you. All right, so new rules in effect for local home buyers, and really you can insert home buyers, right, instead of local home buyers. What it will mean for VA home loan borrowers. Okay, so if you're using your VA home loan, and in today's crazy environment, there's been a change. And now this change was, I would call, necessary. Here's the thing. I, along with Clay over at the CivDiv and our joint channel, Veterans Daily, we actually had a kind of a co-hosted with a guest live event. So if you hadn't seen it, you can view it on my channel or any of the channels and go to the live tab and you'll see that last live. We had David Piotek on there as a subject matter expert and veteran, currently still serving with the National Guard. And he was on there talking about all kinds of things with regard to VA home loans. So please check that out. Either to just brush up on it, get smart on it, share it with a friend, or if you're interested in buying, selling and buying another, buying an investment property, any of those things, definitely take a look at that video. All right, so jumping back into the article here, Central Texas is where this news article is coming out of. Changes went into effect for VA home loan buyers on August 10th, just a few days ago, really, following a historic class action lawsuit settlement from earlier this spring involving the National Association of Realtors. For those that don't know, and I don't know if this is really going to dive into it, the bottom line is that the National Association of Realtors was sued because home sellers, the sellers, were basically being placed on the hook to pay buyers commissions, right? Buyers agents commission fees. And so there was a lawsuit on that, and the National Association of Realtors lost. So they're changing how they're doing things. The long story short is the National Association of Realtors, for all the realtors that fall under them, are no longer allowed to lump the buyer's agent's commission into the seller's expenses. So what does that mean? Well, somebody has to pay the buyer's agent. Well, guess who? It's you, the buyer. Now, I will throw this out there that you can negotiate that in your purchase, but there's no guarantee, right? It's just like adding any closing costs. So you could say, for example, the market would support $10,000 higher than the asking price. We should be able to get that for an appraisal. So that 10,000 higher, we're going to go ahead and offer you 10,000 more than your asking price, but in return we want X dollars back to help us with closing costs and commissions. I mean, that's a way. So anyway, moving on. While this is it's a big number. While this more than $400 million settlement impacts the real estate industry as a whole, Central Texas has such a large military footprint. So 25 News checked in with the local real estate and VA expert to find out what people using VA home loans can expect. Here's the issue, and this is why the change, and then we'll jump back into this. VA loans rules state that you are not allowed to pay a buyer's agent's commission. Well, so then how can you use your VA home loan if you have to pay a portion of the buyer's agent's fee? So, for example, let's just say that it was going to be $12,000 for the buyer's agent's commission, but you got $10,000 back from the seller. So the seller's paying $10,000 of that commission, but you're on the hook for $2,000. The way that the VA loan was currently set up with its many different provisions and rules and all that stuff did not allow you, the buyer, to pay that $2,000 toward that buyer's agent's commission. So back in June of 2024, the VA informed everyone that they would be changing on a temporary basis that rule and overturn it and allow, again on a temporary basis, for veteran buyers to pay those types of commissions if necessary to close on the home. All right, so moving back into this. Before these new rules went into effect, VA loan guidelines stated that a veteran purchaser using a VA home loan could not pay a buyer's agent's commission and fees. Sorry. That has since changed. But before you start touring homes, Christy Giesler, chairman-elect of Texas Realtors, explains 2 impactful changes you can expect when working with an agent to buy a home. Here's a quotation. When they go to hire a buyer's agent to assist them, they're going to have some different paperwork, and it's going to talk to them about an actual written agreement that they're going to sign that says, agent, you're going to do these services for me, and as a result of that, part of my closing cost to buy the home will be paying your professional service fees, Giesler said. Giesler, whatever. Moving on. While there's still an opportunity for negotiations on agent compensation and how it will be paid, Danny Rena with the Killeen, Texas branch of the United Veterans Home Loan says one of the new challenges VA loan home buyers may face is having to pay for additional costs, leading some buyers to get a personal loan to help foot the bill. So that's scary, because if you get a personal loan, you shouldn't be doing that in conjunction with trying to buy a house. Be very careful with that. I mean, do you? I'm not giving you any financial advice here, but you should probably talk with someone in the industry and make sure that you are good to go in the process. Because let's say that you're close on debt to income ratio, meaning the amount of money you spend versus the amount of money you bring in to purchase that specific home. Then you go on and get a loan, which then has a monthly payment that then gets calculated into your debt to income ratio and increases it, meaning you might actually push yourself out of being able to actually qualify for the home. All right, moving back into this. With this being so new, Rena has not had any contracts yet that would be impacted by these new rules. I don't think there's any urgency to rush because of the changes and this temporary change that the VA has done, he said. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs is expected to release a permanent policy in the coming future. He believes that what the VA is trying to do is keep the veteran buyer in the housing marketplace and to even the playing field. Now, what they mean by that is, again, the way that the VA home loan was structured before was you could not pay any commission. So let's pretend that you still were not allowed to pay any commission. It sounds good on its surface, right? But now you're trying to make an offer on a house and you're saying, I can't pay any commissions. You have to pay them all, whoever, right? The seller. But then another buyer comes in, they make the identical offer, and let's say they don't make the identical. Let's say that they make a similar offer, but they have $5,000 that they said that they'll pay toward the buyer's agent's commission, and the seller will pick up the rest. Okay, well, you can't even do that as a veteran, so you cannot compete with that buyer for $5,000, right? That $5,000 difference could make you lose the home because you can't compete. So it's just a way to give you more options. Now, again, you as a buyer can still negotiate with the seller who will pay and how much they will pay of the buyer's agent's commission, but it's not required like it used to be. It used to be just written into the seller's contract. So if you're selling a home, well, now you're in a better position, as far as you're not being on the hook right out the gate for 6% or 5% or whatever it is of the value of your home. Let's move back into this and see if there's anything else. Doesn't look like there's anything else. So I will go ahead and end it there. Again, check out the live that we had with David Piotek. Great guy, great information. Follow him. He's got a channel as well, and he works for a great organization. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.